Morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty to work on. In fact, I haven't really worked on drum kit all that much in all these years that I've been playing. Now, in these practice streams, I like to share what I'm practicing, how I'm practicing, while I answer questions. Think of this like office hours. There's over 500 videos of me doing live streams inside of this particular YouTube playlist, and every single one of these has timestamps in the description to show what I was practicing or what I was talking about. Now, because I get a bunch of really good questions from people in the different chats that I have up on the screen, I will often edit those and put them into this drumming tips playlist. It's got over 18 hours of free drumming tips inside of here that answers a wide range of questions like, should your wrist line up with your forearm? And then if it says, and other drumming tips, that means there are more tips inside of here than just that topic. That's the first thing that I talk about before I move on to some other questions that people have. There's timestamps in the description of all of these 100+ videos, so you can see all the different questions in there. If none of them are of interest to you, I guarantee you one of the 100+ videos will be of interest to you. Now, I am not good at drum kit yet, so I need some motivation from the great sage Shia LaBeouf. So Shia is going to help motivate me to just do it. And we're going to hide him because of copyright. Shia, help me out. I want to get better at limb independence. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success, well, you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Ah, yes, Shia LaBeouf. Everybody's tired of starting over. Thank you so much for your great words of wisdom. Now that we have been motivated by, received our motivation, we're going to work on limb independence. Now, what I've done is I've taken this book. It's called 50 Ways to Syncopation. I highly recommend this book. In it, there are 50 ways to work through Ted Reed's book, Syncopation, or the charts that are in here, or the 55 charts that are on my YouTube channel. Now, how you work through this is by going through all these like limb independence variations. I've taken Dom's book and I've put them into this spreadsheet so I can keep track of how I'm doing when playing all these different variations. So it keeps track of like what is my starting BPM, the quality of the playing, how did I feel while doing this. And if I scroll through here, it shows all of the times that I've done this as well as the averages. And then this column on the left is keeping track of, well, how did it sound overall across all these times that I practiced it? Now, last year, in 2025, I spent the year just going through these to make them all at least technically proficient, which is where you're playing the ink on the page, or musical, where I'm adding in extra timbres, textures, etc., to make it sound more interesting than it is. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to not just play one pattern, but I'm going to go to the next level of limb independence, where I'm going to be switching back and forth between two different patterns. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. So you could make it so that you read through an entire chart playing one way, and then as soon as you get to the next chart, which I'll show you in a second, you read through it a completely different way, etc. But the way I'm going to try it today is every single line is going to be a different pattern. So here's what I'm going to do to warm up. There are two different patterns that I'm going to do that I demonstrated the other day. The first one is pattern number 2 from Dom's book. So pattern number 2 in Dom's book is this. So we have ding, ding, ding. So your basic swung ride pattern, hi-hat on 2 and 4, and you're going to play short notes on the snare drum, which means that you're going to play swung 8th notes, and anything longer than that is going to go on the bass drum. So etc. I'm going to play that as one of my patterns. The next pattern that I'm going to play is pattern number 4 in here, which says right hand plays the short notes on toms, the long is on the bass drum and ride, and the left hand fills triplets on snare, hi-hat on 2 and 4. What? Here. Hi-hat on 2 and 4. 1, 2, dun, 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 dun. Now short notes on there. Long notes are on the bass and the ride simultaneously. Now, while doing this, I'm going to fill in triplets on the snare as ghost notes. So triplet, 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 triplet. So if it's quarter notes, like that. Okay. But ghost notes, I'm going to lower those. So you might not hear them because this drum trigger doesn't necessarily pick up all of those little subtle sounds. Okay. So that's a lot. All right. So I'm going to go through pattern number 2 into pattern number 4. Now, the way I'm going to do this is using these free resources. There are thousands of them on my YouTube channel. Or if you go to the link that's at the top of every one of the videos, it takes you to jaredoleary.com/drum, which is linked up there. This is where you can find all the chop exercises. There's currently 84 of them. There's 419 triplet grid variations, 577 16th note grid variations, and 36 wacky ones like Herta grid. This is where I'm practicing today. It's got all the charts that I'll show you in a second. And then there's over 500 marching bass stuff. If you scroll a little further down, there's some drumline cadences. There's some sight reading exercises, almost 300 of those. There's almost 500 technique exercises. And then there's over 18 hours of drumming Q&A just in this playlist alone, as well as some scripted lessons like how to play crossovers on tenor drums, how to hold traditional grip, etc. So there's tons of free content in here, literally thousands of free videos. But what I'm going to do is go through some of these charts. Now, the speed that I want to take this at when going through this is going to be based off of pattern number 4. So is the last time I played it at 120 and it was musical and fun. Let's try going a little bit faster. So we're going to go to 130. And it's a swung pattern. So I'm going to go swung charts as opposed to the straight charts. And I'm going to do from 100 to 159. And inside of here are 55 different charts that you can work on, as well as some videos that show you how to develop limb independence if you're not comfortable with that yet. I'm just going to start with charts 1 through 5. And inside of here, there are timestamps in the description so you can select your BPM for every single one of these play-alongs that I've got. So right here, we're going to do it at 130. It's going to count off, and I'll hear the play-along in my headphones. It's muted on your end because of a sync delay, a synchronization delay. So you can't hear it, but I can. 1, 2, ready, and... So, first line, I'm going to play the pattern short on snare, long on bass drum. The next line, I'm going to play that more complicated pattern that's got the toms and the bass and the ride, etc. 1, 2, as long as I remember to do it. Ready, air. Okay, so you might not play it this way on an actual chart. You might do it at like every 8 bars as opposed to every 4, but this is just a simple way that you can practice switching back and forth between 2 different patterns to keep it a little bit more interesting while going through it. Fun, right? Requires you to pay attention to the 4-bar phrasing, which, you know, is a good thing, especially in jazz, Latin jazz setting. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... I almost started the tom one. Cool. It feels a little weird transitioning back to the ride pattern in between, like, the tom one. So we'll keep working on this. Try and get it more comfortable. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... I screwed up. Ride. Sweet. Last chart. Yeah, so the right pattern, I switched it from starting on 1 to like starting on 2. Whoops. I was like, oh, I should play the tom pattern first. No. 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... bass on that third note. Sweet. Cool. I have no idea why my like camera keeps changing colors. It like gets bright, gets dark. Weird. All right. Overall, not bad, not too shabby. I'll take it. Still a little uncomfortable, so we'll revisit this here in a second, playing with a different set of charts. But first, we're going to stretch and massage. So I'm going to take my sticks, hold them so that the palms are facing up, and I'm going to pull in, push through. Ooh. This makes it so that it stretches like the sides of the forearms, and it feels great. And to get out of the stretch, just go back out the way that you came. If you do traditional or rotary motions like Steven's grip, rotate and hold to one end of the extreme, and then rotate and hold to the other end of the extreme. This is something I did daily back when I marched traditional on snare, but I don't play that anymore, so I'm not going to do that stretch. Next, I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. So I'm going to do this by just pulling back gently. You could also do this one on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. So that can make it so you could do 2 hands at a time. We're going to take our time with it today. Switch. Stretching music. And next, I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm, so this direction. So we're stretching along here. You could do this one on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper your stretch. But since I'm sitting, I can actually just do it like this, and then it stretches both the forearms simultaneously. Makes it go twice as fast, which I like. But if you want to take your time with it and do one at a time, you do you. Final stretch. Stretching the fingers. So we're going from larger to smaller parts of the arm, hand, fingers, etc. Okay. I'm going to do thumb to thumb. This is just stretching one finger on the same finger on the other hand. So it goes twice as fast. Ooh, it feels good. Every one of your fingers, forearms, wrists, etc., are going to feel different every single day. So some days you'll spend longer on some stretches. Other days you'll spend less time on it. Just go with what your body needs in that moment. I sound like a yoga teacher. Just listen to your body. Breathe in. ASMR. Oh, almost. It like wanted to pop, but it was like, nope. What about this one? Ah, a little one. 1 out of 5 stars. And the pinky. Nope. Okay, so that is the quick stretch routine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick massage routine. This just keeps the hands nice and healthy. So thumb on top, fingers underneath, going through, massaging. What the what? What the? So this is relaxing the forearms. Then we're going to relax the hands and then relax the fingers. And then we'll get back into playing some charts. And we'll do the same thing that I just did with switching between those two different patterns. Every 4 bars. So that way I can get more comfortable with it. And then I want to try it with a different set of patterns. So instead of going with 2 different swung patterns, I'm going to do some Samba patterns. We'll go through that. Do. Okay, so now I'm going to do the hand. So for this one, what I'm going to do is massage the back side of the hand with the fingers, and then the thumb is going to massage the palm. And so we're just getting the hand nice and relaxed. And switch. Do. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do is massage from base to tip of each one of the fingers. So do this at least 2 times, maybe more, depending on how your hands are feeling. You might need some more. Ooh. Oh, there's a little ASMR. Enjoy. Free of charge. So yeah, if your fingers are feeling tight, like one of them, maybe go 3 or 4 times. Again, pay attention to your body. It's not a fixed number that you're going to do every single time, or a fixed amount of time that you're going to hold the stretch or anything. It's just what you need in that moment. The important thing is to just do this every day. At least once, if not twice a day, especially if you do rudimental stuff that with like heavier sticks. If you're drumming for a long time, it's important to do that. Keep your hands healthy. Okie dokie. So the pattern that we just did was, in case you're just jumping in, was switching between 2 different swung patterns. So the first pattern that I did was ding, 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 short notes, long notes on here. And then the other pattern was playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 short, long on there while filling in with ghost notes. So, and doing 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. Okay? So I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to do it instead of with charts 1 through 5. We'll just go to the next charts in here, 6 through 10. There's 55 charts in here at the moment. I'll add more in the future. But it makes it so that you can just practice sight reading through some charts. So I'm going to do this at 130. So I'm going to select 130 in the timestamps, and then it'll count me off in my headphones. But you won't hear it on your end because it's muted. 2, 1, 2, ready, and bing, bing, ding. Every 4 bars, I'll alternate between the 2 different patterns. 1, 2, here we go. Whoops. Cool. There was one line where the transition from the tom pattern into the normal ging short long pattern felt a little funky for the ride, but otherwise it was mostly comfortable. 2, ready, and read that wrong. Yeah, so that one felt a little more uncomfortable while switching between those, and I screwed up the ride pattern on the first one. I don't know what's going on mentally with that, why I'm doing that. Brains, they're weird. Oh, 1, 2, ready, and... The ghost notes on the snare got a little out of time there. Slowed down. Oh no. That's why we're practicing, folks. A 2, a 1, 2, ready, air. I do have some advice. Give me a second and I'll show you a video that talks about velocity, where you can find that. 2, ready, and... Good question. Sweet. Now, by the way, the first line of each one of these charts, I was just keeping time on here, so that way I could like respond to any comments and whatnot. But you could improvise on each one of these lines if you want to practice that. Now, your question, looks like Tucker. My screen is far away, so it's a little hard to see, but good question. So if we scroll down here on my home tab, inside of the drumming tips playlist, there's over 18 hours of me responding to some excellent questions like what you were asking, Tucker. But one, velocity. No, where's it at? Where are you at? Is it this one? I don't think it's that one, actually. So that one does talk about it, but let me find you one that specifically talks about it. I apparently can't type right now. It's one of those mornings. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, is it that one? Okay, so I think it's drumming tip number 80. Let me just make sure, because I want to point you to a resource that like actually answers your question more thoroughly than I can right now. Do do do. It's not that one. Huh. I'm stumped. I shared this with somebody like not long ago, and so I'm like trying to like I'm stuck with this because I'm like, why is it like not showing up for me? Why? Tell me. Weird. Okay, well, I don't know why I can't find the video. Jared, what happened? Where is it? Okay, so I guess I'll just answer it. So velocity, it has to do with a couple of things, and this goes with any type of like instrument you're playing on, whether it's bass drum, like you were asking about, or drum set or whatever. So the velocity is the speed from your starting position into the head and out of it. But the how fast you do that is going to determine the volume, but also how much contact on the stick, or in your case, the mallet, is going to determine the volume that you're going to have, whether you're playing this way, playing with a rotary motion, whatever kind of approach you're using for a bass, doesn't matter. The point is, if you have more contact on the stick, squeezing more, this is going to choke off the sound quite literally. So it's actually going to be absorbed into your body rather than having a nice resonant sound on the drum and even with your stick. So it'll make a humming sound. You might be able to hear that, but I'll show you a video here in a second that does show the humming sound. If you're playing nice and relaxed, you'll feel it tickle because it'll vibrate the stick or the mallet. So when you're playing, the speed that you go from your starting position into the head and the amount of contact that you have on the stick is going to have an impact on the velocity or the overall volume or sound that you're going to get out of the head. So the more relaxed you are and the faster you play, the louder the volume. The tighter your hands are, the more you choke off the sound on the stick, and the slower you move into the head, the less volume you're going to get out of it. And so the video that I was trying to find for you, it actually shows like a demonstration of that on a pad. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate it on here because the drum triggers that I'm using, it doesn't pick up those nuances, and there's not a microphone right here for that. So I can't demonstrate it as well as I could if I was on a pad. Which is what I did in this other video, which is why I have no idea where it's at. It's somewhere hiding inside of this particular playlist. And I want to find it for you so that way you can actually see the example that I can't demonstrate right now, but I could. Ah, this one. Okay, I use a different word than velocity for it. So touch. So this video, drumming tip number 90, Tucker will give you like a demonstration that I can't do today because I'm not on a pad like I was when I was asked this question. But I spend a couple of minutes just kind of like demonstrating and talking through the different things that you need to consider when you're thinking about the volume or the velocity or the touch, etc. So check this one out, drumming tip number 90. But there's another video that I hinted at for a second. If you scroll all the way down to the drumming lessons playlist, this one has one at the bottom that is, you should hear this when you drum, and I recorded this a couple years ago. It's a really short 37-second video, but it actually shows you what the volume or what the stick is supposed to sound like when you're playing between a relaxed and a tight technique. So it actually like shows like the difference in the sound for it. And I swear I even had the waveform on there. No? Okay, well, I'll add it. So what I ended up doing is I cut out the sound for the start of the attack so you could only hear the release, and there's a distinct difference between the tight technique and the relaxed technique for how your sticks will actually sound when you're playing this way. So I highly recommend checking this one out. It's the same thing for mallets, whether you're playing on bass drum or even on like marimba or whatever. Like all this applies. So check out drumming tip number 90, and then this video, you should hear this when you drum, and that'll give you like a better demonstrations than I can do while playing on the hybrid kit, because like this drum trigger, it won't allow me to do those subtle differences. Can I show you some stick tricks with my drumsticks? It's not really something that I do. Like, I'm here, like, practicing. There's a lot of people who do stick trick stuff, but, like, I prefer to, like, practice playing and, like, sounding better rather than doing that kind of stuff. But, I mean, like, some of the stuff that, like, is just basics, just, like, crossovers or whatever that you could do. But one of the ones that I learned from Jeff Queen was, he's a 4-time world champion snare drummer. And so he showed me how to, like, do this, like, stick juggling. Like, something like that. So, like, that's some stuff that you can do. But, like, stick tricks is not really my thing. There are a bunch of other channels that, like, focus on that, though. I wish you were doing all this when I was going through high school. It's funny you say that, because that is exactly why I'm creating these resources. I'm trying to create the type of resources that I wish I had when I was, like, first learning how to drum. But yeah, stay tuned for many more. So, like, this drumming lessons playlist at the moment only has, like, 16 videos in here. Granted, there's like over 18 hours in this one. But my goal is to add a new one to this every single week, so every Monday. And then a new one into this every single Friday. And then a new play-along every single day. So there are just a ton of resources that I'm going to continue to create. Like, there's over 600 play-alongs that are currently scheduled to come out over the next year and a half or so. So stay tuned for a lot more free content. But yeah. Good question, Tucker, and ask more. You can ask them live or you can ask them in the comments, but yeah, drumming tip number 90, and then that last video on the drumming lessons. Thunder or Spurs? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I don't know what your question is. Okay, so the pattern that I just was working on with the ride pattern, ding, 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 and playing short and long on there, it still didn't feel super comfortable going through that. When I switched back to... and then going back into this. So I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'll do a straight pattern with some alternating between two different sambas. So I'm going to go back to the limb independent section, and I'm going to go into here, and I'm doing swung charts. So I'm going to do 130, and we just did 1 through 10, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the very next set of charts in here, but there's 55 to keep you busy. San Antonio or Oklahoma City, you'll play drums if I get it right. That is a game you're asking me to participate in that I am not interested in participating in. Okay, I'm going to go neither. I'm going to say... let's go with the Coyotes. Thinking of an Arizona team. At least it used to be. I don't know if they still are. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, so the next line, we're going to switch. And back to the original. Cool, that felt more comfortable, but because every one of these like 55 charts is like so different, maybe this one will be more uncomfortable. We'll find out. But I'll keep switching every 4 bars between these 2 different patterns. Try to get it comfortable. Read that wrong. Well, hello to you. Yeah, so that wasn't like a mechanical issue, like a limb independence issue. That last line, that was just me reading the rhythms wrong. So I'm so sorry. 1, 2, ready, and... That's funny. I was playing ghost notes the whole time there, but like the trigger was not picking it up. You can't play too quiet with these ones. I got the cheaper ones, and I kind of regret it. I should have probably invested in some better ones. Whoopsies. Almost forgot to switch. Yeah, I almost forgot to switch patterns. Whoopsies. Cool. Now another thing you could do is like each time you switch, you could play like on the crash, like as just a single. Hey, we're on a new phrase, or you could do it every 8 bars instead of every 4 bars, like I'm doing. Whatever you want to do. You do you. You're practicing. Cool, that's fun. I like it. I like it. So that was switching from pattern number 2 in Don Moyle's book, 50 Ways of Syncopation, to pattern number 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 2 different samba patterns from Dom's book. And again, this is the book that I'm working out of, 50 Ways of Syncopation. And I'm going to switch between 2 of his patterns in there while reading through some straight charts. So, let's see, Samba. The Samba. Let's go with... Let me find the number for it. No, not that one. No, not that one. I could do that. Oh, that would be interesting as well. Sorry, I'm having like a lot of internal debate here. Samba. Okay. Unison. Let's do that one. Right hand plays the left hand fills with ghost. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do pattern number 11 and pattern number 12 from Dom's book. So let's see how fast I played these the last time I did it. So this one was 160. This one was 170. So we'll go with 160. Maybe I'll need to slow it down because I'm going to be switching between 2 different patterns. Now you're like, well, what are the patterns? Well, good question. So Samba with the foot is just boom, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom. This is a very slow samba. So the first thing I'm going to do is a unison, where I'm playing everything I read on the chart on not only the snare drum, but also on the ride. But the second pattern that I'm going to switch to every 4 bars is going to be playing the melody, so the chart that I'm sight reading, on the right hand, where I'm playing short notes here. Long notes will be bell hits, okay? So with the side of the stick to give it a little texture change. while I fill in with eighth note ghost notes on the snare drum straight, so not swung. So if I'm playing quarter notes, I'm going to play... like whole notes, etc. Okay, the entire time I'm going boom, boom, boom. So I'm alternating between either both hands playing the same thing, or the melody's on the right hand and you're ghosting on the left hand. It sounds more complicated than it is. So let me just show you what that looks like. Okay, so inside of the limb independence section, we've been working on swung stuff. What I'm going to do now is scroll down to it, limb independence, and I'm going to do the straight patterns. So straight, 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 and these last four are all swung. Because I'm going to play this at 160, I'm going to go inside of here, and I just finished getting through chart number 15, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next one, 16 through 20, so I can again practice sight reading. Inside of the timestamps in the description, I'm going to say, hey, play at 160, and it's counting off. Okay, so this is what my feet are going to do the entire time. My feet do not change at all. I'm going through this. It's the hands are going to change. A 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... A 1, 2, ready, and... Cool. So that's the patterns, the two different patterns. And again, on this like top line, you can improvise like I did on the last time, or you can just play an ostinato, whatever you want to do. 2, ready, and... Cool. All that space, you can really hear those ghost notes. Helps it kind of keep time and whatnot. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and... Cool. Last chart. This is feeling more comfortable than what I was just doing. 1, 2, a 1, a 2. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, so that felt comfortable. That was fun going through that. So that was switching through pattern number 11 and pattern number 12. Now I was making a little bit more musical, and technically doing a variation for pattern 12, which I was just calling 12.1, which is again playing short notes on the side of the ride, and then long notes, so quarter notes and longer, on the bell, just to make it more interesting by having two different timbres when playing through it. But yeah, so that's some examples with the straight charts. Cool. So I mentioned this, what was it, yesterday? Yeah. When I was playing Chug with Hertas, which is and I was like, it'd be fun to play this like double bass. So my stick almost lost it. So I'm gonna actually work on some double bass today. I got a double bass, I don't know what, like 10, 11 months ago, something like that. But I haven't worked it up yet. Excuse me. Still recovering from a cold. So last year, I spent like the majority of the year working on the limb independent stuff. But this year, I want to work on not just the limb independence, but also start incorporating more double bass, which is something I've never worked on. So I'm going to go back to my home tab here. And I'm going to work out of a technique playlist. Scroll all the way down. In the technique section. And I'm going to play in this endurance and speed playlist. Right now, there are 70 videos in here that specifically focus on endurance and speed, but there's a ton of other stuff here, especially if you're a rudimental drummer like I am, that can help you with your hands. But because I want to actually work my feet up, I'm going to play that chug variation that I did yesterday with my hands, but today I'm going to do it with my feet. I'm just scrolling down past all these different stuff, and I'm going to do chug with Hertas. So inside of all these thousands of play-alongs, there are timestamps. So you can say, hey, I want to start this at 20 beats a minute. Or I want to play this as fast as, what did we do yesterday? 150, I think. Whatever you want, every BPM in between, in the timestamps of all these thousands of free play-alongs. Now, because I'm not good at this yet, I'm going to start slow, like 60. Now, when playing double bass, there's a couple of different ways that you can do any bass, single or double. One is a heel down. So you're keeping the heel of your foot down, and you're playing like this. The other technique is where your heel is off the pedal or off the ground, and you're playing like this or playing like this, okay? So where you're like tapping down or actually like lifting up like your leg like this and playing through it, or a combination of the two, whatever. Both are good for different reasons. Some are like one is better for speed and power, while the other is better for control and dynamics. To clarify, the one that's on the ground where your heel is on the ground is better for like control and dynamics, whereas like the one where your heel is up is better for speed, for power. They're both good, which is why I'm going to actually practice both techniques while going through this. So I'm just going to alternate between heel up and heel down. So I'll start with my heel down. So I'm just going to be clapping like that. And this might be too slow. It might be too fast. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Ready and go. And okay, now I'm going to do heel up. So it might sound completely different in terms of the quality too. Ready and go. And okay, back to heel down, 2, and 1, and 2, and ready, and go, and okay, heel up 2, 1 and a 2 and a ready and a go. You can hear which one I practice more, and the correct answer to that is heel down. 2. Speaking of, let's play it that way. Whoo-wee! Yeah, so, not good at this yet. Eventually, like, we're talking months from now, when my feet start to feel more comfortable, and it's developed this thing called automaticity, where you think about things less because of a process known as myelination, where you're basically strengthening the neural pathways inside of your brain. Eventually, once I get to that point where my feet feel fairly comfortable, I'll be able to start adding in what my hands are doing. Some just might be something like this, and then maybe we'll add in the next hand, etc. That's eventually, but for right now, I'm just trying to get my feet to actually play in time, ideally. So that's what we're gonna work on. But just so you know, that is the eventual goal. So if you are better at double bass than I, start incorporating your hands while going through these endurance and speed exercises. 2, heel up. Heel down. 2 and 1 and 2 and my feet are getting tired. 1, heel up. 2. Two, heel down. 1 and 2 and oh, getting tired. All right, heel up. 1 and 2 and whoo-wee. Okay, let's do one more. Excuse me, with heel down. What? Playing chug. What are you doing? 1 and 2, ready and go. Oh, my feet are getting tired. Yeah, so eventually I'd like to be able to, I love you. I'd like to be able to get this to the point where it is at the speed of my hands. So if you're better at double bass than I, because I'm learning it, you can go faster. So again, this starts as slow as 20 beats a minute, all the way up to 160. So by this time next year, Why, hello to you. We might be where I was the other day with playing. I slurred it out like I did yesterday. So we might be at that speed or close, etc. So we will get there eventually. Do tenors? Tomorrow I'll be playing tenors. Speaking of, so if you go to my home tab, there are thousands of free exercises. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. If you're a rudimental drummer like myself, there's a bunch of chop exercises, 84 of them inside of here. There's over 1,000 grid variations. So many you have to click on the header to actually show all of the grid variations in here. I recommend focusing on rudiment on one. Like yesterday, I played flam drag on one, and I think I got it to 180 or something like that. So quick. But everything I was working on today was in this limb independent section. So there's a bunch of stuff up here to work on, your timing and limb independent stuff. And then there's 55 charts in here. Every single one of these playlists, if you open it up, has as the second video a video where I show you how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. So last year I went through that with 62 different limb independence variations, and then for the last stream of the year I ended up playing all 62 of them with one chart. So this is something that is actually coming out on Friday, so you'll be able to see every single one of those. Some of them sound great, and some of them are because I'm still working on it. But these two videos will show you how you can play 62 different patterns with all these different charts on here to work on your limb independence if you want to work on limb independence. If you're a rudimental or concert percussionist like myself, there's also marching bass drum exercises in here. There's over 500 of them. There's a bunch of scores and ensembles, like some cadences. There's a bunch of sight reading exercises. But where I was just practicing was in the technique section. So I was working on an endurance and speed exercise, and there's a ton of them inside of here. But there's a lot of things that you can use to work on your hands or your feet to be able to improve your playing. And finally, there are all of these full streams. There's these scripted drumming lessons, and then there's over 18 hours of me responding to questions. This is the edited version of those responses on here. So if you open this one up, there's over 100 videos of a wide range of questions, whether it's like, how do you handle when life isn't fair with drumming, or something like tips for improving your buzz rolls, or why do tenor drummers use French grip, etc. Lots of different concepts in here. So check those out if you're interested in it. More military type of drumming. Yeah, so if you go to the home tab here, check out the chop stuff in the grid stuff, and then even the technique stuff that has a ton of things that are applicable to like the rudimental style of drumming, which is what I mainly do. I'm learning drum kit for fun. But I'm going to call it here. Tomorrow I'll be on the tenors, and we'll practice for about an hour or so. But I'm going to get ready for Borderlands 4. We're like maybe a third of the way through the game or halfway through. So if you're interested in the gaming stuff, just click on the gaming header and it shows you all the different games I played. So you can check out those live streams or the highlights. But I'm going to call it here. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And if you enjoy these resources, share it with somebody else. If you don't enjoy these resources, share it with an enemy. Goodbye.